The contractor who stole my award and got what she deserved. I'm a contractor at a Fortune 500 company. Last year, I worked my ass off because my manager promised me the Employee of the Year award. But when the time came, he told me the award was going to the new hire, the CEO's niece. Not only that, I had to put all my projects from last year under her name. All because I'm just a contractor. Not worth anything anyway, he said. Chapter 1. Sarah, you're a contractor. This Employee of the Year award doesn't mean anything for you anyway, so corporate decided to give it to Jessica Morrison. Look, you know she's new and hasn't accomplished much yet. Do us a solid and let her take credit for your projects from last year. My manager, Brian Stevens, casually handed over a year of my hard work to someone else. I couldn't believe someone could be this shameless, making robbery sound so noble. But you and Director Johnson promised me this award. I worked every weekend last year for this. I took a deep breath, holding back my rage. Don't get upset. My hands are tied. You're not a full-time employee. If you'd studied harder in college, gotten into a better school, you could have been hired directly. I was already hurt and angry, but Brian kept dancing on my nerves. They had their internal politics and nepotism, yet blamed me for not being good enough. It made me laugh bitterly. Huh, so Jessica got in on merit? She's here because of her CEO uncle. Must be Nikki, no effort needed, awards just handed to her on a silver platter. My voice rose with anger. I'd worked an entire year, hoped for an entire year, only to be told I didn't deserve it because I was a contractor. Did they just realize today I wasn't full-time? Brian choked on my response, his face darkening. Yeah, well, some people are born lucky. Look, you can't change this. Corporate's just being polite by informing you. Jessica's getting it regardless. Seeing my defiance, Brian sighed and offered a compromise. How about this? I'll talk to Jessica. She gets the award, but she can privately give you the bonus. After all, you worked hard all year. Fair? What could I say? The decision was made. This was the best outcome I could hope for. But I was still furious. Why should contractors do all the work while these nepotism hires take all the credit? Jessica was still in college last year. She wasn't even at our company. Yet she's getting Employee of the Year. The award is based on the previous year's performance. What did she do to deserve it? Chapter 2. Leaving Brian's office, I couldn't hide my anger. Everyone could see I was pissed. They knew why. While I was in that half-hour meeting, the company chat had already announced the winner. Fellow contractors sympathized. Many texted me privately with support. Everyone had seen my efforts last year. Now the award went to someone who'd been here less than 3 months. It was demoralizing. The full-time employees thought it was natural. The award meant nothing to me, just an honor. For them, it affected promotions. Many told me to let it go. That's how the world works. Some people have connections. I knew they were right. I could only console myself that at least I'd get the bonus. But 3 months passed without seeing a cent. Finally, I gathered courage to approach Jessica. Hey Jess, did Brian mention anything about the bonus? What bonus? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Sarah, can you finish this for me? I have a date tonight. Just leave it on my desk when you're done. Thanks. Jessica looked at me innocently while dumping more work on me. I didn't know how to continue the conversation. Maybe Brian hadn't explained clearly. Chapter 3. I had to find Brian again. You still haven't gotten it? That's impossible. The bonus was distributed ages ago. Brian seemed genuinely surprised. Did you tell Jessica the bonus was supposed to go to me? Of course. She agreed immediately. $8,000 is nothing to her. When I asked, she acted clueless. I didn't know how to push it. I looked at Brian helplessly. That can't be right. Hold on, let me call her. Brian made the call. Soon, Jessica arrived. You wanted to see me, Brian? Jessica entered cheerfully. Seeing me, she immediately understood and rolled her eyes. Jess, the Employee of the Year bonus came through, right? Why haven't you given it to Sarah? Brian got straight to the point. Jessica, caught red-handed, played dumb. Oh, sorry Brian, I forgot. She turned to me apologetically. Sorry Sarah, I accidentally spent it all. My next paycheck is coming soon. Can I give it to you then? What could I say? I nodded. See? Jess is a good kid. Alright, back to work everyone. Brian smoothed things over, praised Jessica, and dismissed us. Chapter 4. Outside the office, I tried to make small talk with Jessica. She just flipped her hair and walked away. Left me completely confused. Before this, I didn't blame Jessica for taking my award. The decision was management's. But her attitude now pissed me off. Acting like I owed her something. I don't have a fetish for kissing ass, so I stopped trying. Payday came and went. Jessica said nothing. Another week passed. Still nothing. I was getting anxious. I wanted to go to Brian but felt awkward constantly bothering him. So I had to approach Jessica again. Jess, about that 8. Before I could finish, Jessica exploded. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just $8,000. You keep asking and asking like you've never seen money before. Fucking poor bitch. Her words were so vicious they ignited my rage. Watch your fucking mouth. You owe me money and I can't ask for it. Who owes you? The company deposited it in my account. It's mine. That hit my breaking point. I pointed at Jessica, yelling, yours? Yours? Are you fucking serious? Have some shame. Your bonus? You were still in college last year. What did you do to earn this money? Jessica, probably not expecting such directness, screamed back, I don't care. The money's in my account, so it's mine. Don't like it? Too bad. Stay mad. You're just a contractor. I couldn't believe someone could be this shameless. I wanted to hit her. Our shouting drew a crowd. Some watched the drama, others tried to intervene. Seeing us about to fight, they quickly got Brian. After hearing both sides, Brian patiently tried to reason with Jessica. Jess, we agreed this money goes to Sarah. You don't need $8,000. Brian didn't finish before Jessica cut him off, speaking directly to me with extreme arrogance. Why should I give it to her? I'm keeping it. What are you gonna do, call the cops? Poor bitch. Loser. Never seen money in your life, always eyeing other people's pockets. With that, Jessica stormed off, leaving me furious and Brian helpless. Seeing he couldn't convince Jessica, Brian turned to persuade me instead. Sarah, you saw it's not that I won't help. I told her, but she won't listen. What can I do? Maybe just, let it go. Chapter 5. So that's it? Just let it go? My friend looked at me sympathetically. What else? Contractors have no rights. Everything depends on their conscience. I sighed deeply. It wasn't that I didn't fight. I tried, argued, protested. But I couldn't win against the system. What could I do? Rage impotently. That's reality. My friend patted my shoulder and bought me a latte to comfort my wounded soul. I told myself to move on. Brian was right, we couldn't force Jessica to pay. He told me to let it go, not to take it personally. He'd make it up to me later. What could I do? Keep eating his empty promises. I thought I'd moved on, but Jessica had to rub it in my face. The next day, Jessica announced her bonus had arrived. To thank everyone for their support, she bought Starbucks for the whole office. Everyone was initially happy, cheering about Jessica's generosity. My work buddy, worried I'd feel awkward, grabbed me a cup. Said I should take advantage, free is free. But before I could reach for it, Jessica snatched it away. Oh no, Sarah doesn't like this. Jessica said seriously, then handed me a Dunkin' coffee. Sarah, I got this specially for you. You're always so frugal, counting every penny. You've probably never had Starbucks, right? I worried your stomach couldn't handle such premium coffee, so I got you Dunkin' instead. You don't mind, right? Jessica covered her mouth, clearly mocking me. The bustling office froze at her words. Everyone could see Jessica was targeting me. I shook with anger. After a deep breath, I laughed instead of exploding. Thank you. I took the coffee. Then threw it in the trash in front of her. Sorry, I'm severely allergic to things from heartless bitches. Can't drink it. Pfft. One of the contractors couldn't help laughing. Seeing everyone staring, she quickly stifled it. But that laugh was enough to enrage Jessica. Feeling humiliated, she pointed at me, yelling, Sarah Williams, you've got some nerve. I call you by your name out of respect, and you think you're somebody. I'm doing you a favor buying you Dunkin'. Who do you think you are? Just a contractor. Keep being cocky, believe me, next year I'll make sure you can't work here anymore, bitch. Jessica stormed off. Colleagues looked down. The previously lively office went dead silent. Everyone knew Jessica was wrong, but she had connections. Her uncle was the CEO. Offending the CEO's family for a contractor? Nobody was that stupid. So everyone stayed quiet. Chapter 6. I don't know what Jessica told her uncle, but the next day, Brian called me in again. He wanted me to apologize to Jessica. I wanted to flip the table right there. Apologize? For what? Is this about right or wrong? She went home crying, saying our company bullies new employees. What am I supposed to do? Sarah, I know you're upset. But you're just a contractor. Keep this up and the company might not renew your contract next year. Brian used both carrot and stick, insisting I apologize to save the girl's face. Fuck that. I'd rather quit. Just a contractor. I could work anywhere. Why take this bullshit? But I couldn't leave quietly. If I was going, I'd go out with a bang. Fine. I'll apologize. Brian smiled, seeing me finally cooperate. That's right. Why argue with a young girl? Smart people adapt. But give me some time to mentally prepare. The board of directors is visiting next week, right? I'll apologize in front of her uncle then. More face for her. Brian thought about it and agreed. I waited and waited. Finally, Jessica's uncle, CEO Robert Morrison, came to our company. By coincidence, several board members were also visiting. That day, with PR staff in tow, I volunteered to prepare refreshments. I got everyone Dunkin' coffee except Robert Morrison. He got Starbucks. Among all the executives, Morrison's Starbucks stood out. What stood out more were my next words. Mr. Morrison. Sorry for offending your niece the other day. I shouldn't have refused her Dunkin' coffee. Even though she bought everyone Starbucks and only got me Dunkin', she still bought something. I should have been grateful, right? Hearing you were coming, I quickly bought you Starbucks. Your niece said you refined people only drink Starbucks. Though contractors don't deserve Starbucks, I still wanted to buy it for you. I'm sorry. Please tell your niece I'm sorry for not drinking her Dunkin'. Also, since I bought you Starbucks, please don't hold it against this contractor. I really need this job. Please don't make them fire me. Next time, I'll make sure my projects are credited to your niece again. Is that okay? Should I kneel? I spoke with exaggerated humility. After speaking, I made to kneel. Not just Morrison went pale, the board members slammed the table. Get her up immediately. Jesus Christ, making employees kneel in the 21st century? Were they trying to get cancelled? The conference room erupted in chaos. Brian's voice cracked. With panic, Sarah, let's talk about this calmly. Chapter 7. I thought after making such a scene, upper management would give me justice. But days passed like nothing happened. The company seemed to have forgotten the incident. Colleagues looked at me with unspoken words, occasionally gathering to whisper. They called me stupid. Why antagonize leadership? Leaders don't like troublemaking employees. I'd probably get backstabbed someday. Just a contractor, why fight so hard? Office gossip ran wild. Their pitying looks made me extremely uncomfortable. I told myself to wait a bit longer, get the outcome, then quit. But the incident seemed to vanish without a trace. Even Brian avoided me now. Soon, leadership used restructuring as an excuse to transfer me to a government agency as support staff. Many government positions were also contractors. Full-time positions were extremely limited. But government contractor pay was much worse than corporate. For example, at the company, I made about $100,000 including bonuses. In government, I'd make $36,000 annually. No benefits. This was targeted retaliation. Yet they acted like they were doing me a favor. I fought hard for this position. You know, after what you pulled, leadership worried you'd cause more trouble. Finding you this placement, you should be grateful. Look, this way you won't interact with Jessica. Let it be. Don't fight anymore. You can't win against the system. I was furious then, filled with resentment at society's unfairness. I swore I'd get a permanent position someday. Nobody expected this transfer would be my lucky break. Chapter 8. After learning I'd been transferred to the government office, Jessica sent mocking messages. Miss Badass, weren't you so tough? Why'd you go quietly to that government job? Have some backbone, refuse. Idiot, think you can fight us? This is a world you'll never understand. Moron, our world is beyond your imagination. Regret it yet? Kneel and apologize, maybe. I'll get leadership to bring you back. Jessica sent abusive messages regularly, commenting nastily on my social media. If I posted about coffee, she'd comment. Oh, drinking boutique coffee now? Life upgrade from Dunkin'? Initially I was angry, but then I realized I was playing into her hands. So I ignored her, letting her rant like a lunatic on my social media. After harassing me for a while with no response, she got bored and stopped. I studied for civil service exams while working at the agency. As Brian had said, government work was tedious, busy when busy, but with plenty of downtime. I had more time to study than before. After working there a while, our agency suddenly got a new director. Another nepotism hire, apparently. After Jessica, I was especially sensitive to connected hires. Hearing nepotism hire, I automatically assumed another incompetent fool. Colleagues asked if I wanted to meet the new director. I said I wasn't interested. These connected people never noticed contractors anyway. But surprisingly, this director memorized every staff member's name. Once in a meeting, he directly assigned me to write a report. I was shocked. I paranoidly wondered if someone had told him to take care of me. But he wasn't targeting me. I'd worried for nothing, preparing to fight back if targeted. I waited nervously for a while. When nothing happened, I relaxed. Chapter 9. Then I discovered this connected director was different from other leaders. He had real skills. Shortly after arriving, he knew all our agency's data by heart. Once he needed a report urgently. I half-assed it. Previous leaders never read them anyway. They'd only pretentiously correct punctuation. When they couldn't even find punctuation errors, they'd say, something's wrong. I can't pinpoint it, but it feels off. Revise it again. Fucking idiots. I assumed he was the same, so I phoned it in. They never approved first drafts anyway. I'd fix it when he nitpicked. But he immediately pointed out my errors, making me break out in cold sweat. Never dared phone it in again. This was a connected hire with actual ability. Rumor was he was some big shot, some top-tier connections, but not incompetent. He was here to pad his resume before moving up. Jessica's connections were child's play compared to his. No wonder city officials were respectful to him. With this capable, connected leader, I didn't dare slack off. I worked diligently every day. In July, while waiting for civil service exam results, our district had a crisis. Our area had a large reservoir. Continuous storms caused water levels to rise dangerously. We staff took shifts monitoring the dam, ready to evacuate nearby neighborhoods if needed. Those days were brutal. Our director worked alongside us, eating and sleeping on site. We bonded through that shared hardship. Working on 3-4 hours of sleep, men worked like animals, women like men. I was the only woman there. My legs felt detached, throat burning. Head spinning, but I couldn't collapse. Some inexplicable responsibility kept me and the other workers going. Despite our efforts, the dam still breached. This director showed real leadership, personally commanding from the front lines. We were his soldiers, following orders without question. Chapter 10. A year later, post-disaster reconstruction finally finished. This connected director completed his resume and was leaving. I'd also passed the civil service exam. Actually, I failed the interview during the flood year but passed the next year. I thought this was my best news of the year, but my departing director brought better news. He said he was taking a position in another state and asked if I'd like to transfer there. He thought I was a good soldier, capable, principled, not a brown-noser. He needed people like that. After consideration, he called me. He said if I agreed, he'd handle all the paperwork. The implications were huge. I agreed immediately. From then on, I followed this leader. Promoted faster than peers, found a better partner. Colleagues who passed exams with me were still entry-level. I was already working in the state capital. Absolutely winning. In a way, I'd reached life's peak. Just when I thought life would be smooth sailing, Jessica screwed me again. Chapter 11. Jessica had early success. While her classmates desperately job hunted, groveling for pennies, she'd used her uncle's connections to land a full-time position at the best company in town. High salary, little work. Occasional credit for others' achievements. Her life was perfect. This smooth sailing made her arrogant. She constantly flaunted her lifestyle to classmates and friends. They fawned over her, inflating her ego further. Eventually, being worshipped by friends wasn't enough. She wanted everyone to know her perfect life. As they say, wealth not flaunted is like wearing designer clothes in the dark. She wanted everyone to see her success, to envy her while being unable to touch her. That gave her satisfaction. So she regularly posted inflammatory content online. She claimed America had too many people. A few poor people dying would be good, like other countries. Save these peasants from hating the rich online. She brazenly boasted about buying her degree, actually only having a GED, mocking education as useless, laughing at college grads who couldn't find jobs. Degrees are stepping stones for peasants. For people like us, education means nothing. Want a good job? Get born to the right parents. Good grades are useless if you can't find work. When I see Gen Z fixing the workplace, I laugh. You can't even enter the workplace, what are you fixing? Just accept being inferior. In the video, Jessica's gloating made viewers feel the frustration of being unable to reach through the screen. But those videos didn't go viral. What went viral was her video about me. I had this stupid coworker, a contractor. To keep her job, she literally knelt to management. Kneeling actually works in government now. Suggest all you unemployed Ivy leaguers learn from her shamelessness. Chapter 12. She thought I wasn't in town, couldn't see the video or clarify, so she openly lied. I don't know who had worse luck, me or Jessica. Her video exploded. Over 1 million views, 50,000 comments. Massive numbers of users demanding to know who this kneeler was. Some questioned her claims, doubting anyone really knelt for a government position. Things might have been salvageable, but after being doubted by so many, instead of backing down, her smooth life had numbed her judgment. She actually doxed me. She gave my full name, workplace, claiming I got my position by kneeling. When netizens searched, they found I was real. This blew up. People started questioning the legitimacy of civil service exams. Trending topics exploded, featuring both me and Jessica. Jessica's past inflammatory posts got exposed. Netizens mocked on social media, calling themselves kneelers, willing to kneel for government jobs. Great. Kneeling gets you government jobs? Why did I bother with education? Where's the princess? I'll kneel at her door right now. I'll kneel too. Give me an address, flying over immediately. Me too. I'll be a good little peasant, take me with you. No wonder the princess only has a GED. How'd she get into a Fortune 500? Guess we're not worthy. Different amniotic fluid, I guess. My 12 years of education were a joke. Public outrage surged. People threatened to kneel at City Hall, demanding government jobs. Some actually live-streamed from government buildings. The situation escalated rapidly. State government noticed. Orders came down for immediate resolution. Chapter 13. Finally scared, Jessica deleted the video. Too late. Reposts had reached astronomical numbers. Netizens dug up extensive details. As things spiraled out of control, Jessica tried redirecting anger toward me. Attempting to make netizens attack the kneeler. Why attack me? I just faked my degree. Sarah's worse, she set precedent by groveling to leadership, kneeling her way into government. Why not attack her? She's more powerful now. I'm just corporate, she's actual government. Jessica knew I worked in state government. Her father had mentioned it. She'd always resented my luck, hated that I'd met state leadership. In her worldview, after being transferred, I should have rotted away so she could gloat. But I'd surpassed her, which pissed her off. So she tried dragging me down. I was indeed affected. My work was suspended pending investigation. Seeing online that I'd been suspended, Jessica gloated. She even found my social media to mock me. So what if you pass the exam? So what if you have connections? I can still destroy you. Lower class like you should stay in the mud. Why should you live better than me? Die. Looking at her message, I was speechless. I don't know what life did to her to make someone this brainless. I quietly screenshot the message and sent it to investigators. Even they were speechless. Chapter 14. Jessica's father knew I was now well connected. Learning his daughter was privately harassing me, he slapped her. Jessica had never faced such humiliation. She ranted online again. Bitch, you dare contact my father? You just slept your way up, right? Got your position in bed? You're no better than me. First kneeling, now sleeping around. Netizens sensed something off. Internet sleuths dug deep, finding flood response news from when Jessica claimed I was groveling. I was fighting floods. When Jessica claimed I knelt for my position, government websites showed my exam scores. They found I'd tested for 2 years before passing. This completely contradicted Jessica's claims. Starting to demand answers from state government, netizens panicked. If I really knelt, why test? For 2 years? Seemed more like struggling. Plus, desperate to pass, I'd taken every exam civil service, public institutions. Government websites documented my journey. As controversy peaked, my former colleagues gave interviews. They revealed the truth, with video evidence. The video showed me getting Dunkin' for executives, Starbucks for Jessica's father, sarcastically apologizing. Netizens found it hilarious. So this is the kneeling truth. LMAO, she has the nerve to spread rumors after stealing credit, taking $8,000 in bonuses, then buying Dunkin' to insult her. Still makes videos attacking her. Stupid bitch calling everyone peasants, inferior. What noble creature are you? In our country, only animals care about bloodlines. Poor Sarah, dragged through mud years later. So unlucky. If Sarah really slept her way up, she wouldn't be insulted with Dunkin'. Netizens were sharp, roasting without profanity. Jessica's classmates and friends came forward with receipts. Fucking finally someone exposed her. Sick of her attitude at every reunion. Mental case, thinks she's untouchable because of her uncle. Speaking of which, how'd she get into a Fortune 500 with a GED? That education only qualifies for janitor. Right, don't derail. We need answers. Chapter 15. After netizens exposed details, investigators cleared me. My exam scores were legitimate. Job transfer was legitimate. No kneeling involved. The official statement included my exam scores. Simultaneously, my former company released a statement. They denied Jessica was permanent staff, just a contractor. System error would be corrected. They'd recover overpaid wages and terminate her. Though the excuse was weak, it amused netizens. Netizens joked, karma. Permanent employee becomes contractor. Look, you became what you despise, a contractor. Now you're inferior too. GED holder, think education matters now? Guys, stop. She still has her CEO uncle. Oh right, the uncle. Who is this Superman? Nobody investigating the super uncle? Netizens wanted to investigate Jessica's uncle. But Jessica's uncle got arrested. FBI announced he was taken during a board meeting. Netizens cheered. News is so satisfying when connected. Heard they seized everything. Waha. Oh, waha. Netizens partied in Jessica's comments. Jessica knew nothing because her family was being raided. Her prized family and job gone. Chapter 16. Years later, following leadership on regional inspection, I saw Jessica outside a motel. She was overweight, carrying one child, wearing another on her back, holding a third's hand. Walking and scolding. Skip school again and see what happens. How will you find good jobs without education? Hard to imagine this woman lecturing about education once mock degrees online. Right, if she'd had education, she might not have been fired so easily. At least she'd have gotten severance. After all, other nepotism hires had legitimate credentials. Though netizens joked about making dumplings for the vinegar, at least they had degrees. Jessica had neither talent nor character, plus her usual arrogance. When the mob came, everyone pushed. Watching her retreating figure, I smiled. The end.